Hey guys, what's up? It's Daniel with TrailerMountain.com, and today I'm testing something a little different. It's not necessarily outdoor related, but it kind of is. As a video reviewer, blogger, vlogger, whatever you want to call it, I shoot a lot of video, especially outdoors. And especially a lot of times I'm away from an outlet or something like that where I don't have plug-in power for a microphone or something like that. I don't use an external audio device to record my audio and then sync that to my video in post. I don't do that. So I do everything on the fly. So I need to have something mobile, and I do have a wireless mic system that I use, so I'm not tethered to the camera, which is important to me because I need quality audio as well as quality video, but I also need to be away from the camera a lot of times. So a wireless mic system is the way to go. Now, I've tested and reviewed, Sennheiser, another wireless mic system from Asden, and Saramonic. And Saramonic just came out with a new one, and they were very nice enough to send me this one right here. This is the UwMIC9, and it comes with a body pack unit and the receiver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing out of the box, which is what I do. I unbox things and show you what it's all about, and then we'll get outside and I'll show you how far I can walk away from the camera with crystal clear audio. This supposedly is really, really nice. Alright, so here we go. This is the RX9 plus TX9 package, and I'm going to get this thing out. This is the UwMIC9 wireless mic setup. So go ahead and open this thing up. It does have all your stuff right here, packing list, what it comes with. I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so here it is right here, UHF wireless microphone. I like the cardboard thing that it comes in because that's going to really ensure that, everything arrives safe and sound. So on the inside here, you have your user's manual. That's a must-have. You have your product registration, warranty card. It does have a 1-year warranty on it. So this is the first thing here. This is the receiver. This is the RX9. This thing is solid. It's metal. Does have little clips in the back here. Twin antennas. Okay, so we'll set that off to the side. This must be the transmitter here. Yep, so this is the transmitter. This is the TX9. Also solid configuration. There's your mic input. Clips for the back. I'll get to that in a minute. It does take 2 AA batteries, just like the other Saramonic wireless mic system that I used. We'll set that off to the side. Let's see what else this thing comes with. So this is the clip for the receiver. Imagine this clips on somehow like so, but I'm not really sure how that goes yet. So, I'll get to that in a minute. We have 2 of these little spring clips, it looks like. These look like they probably go around in here, I'm guessing. You have the actual mic right here. And just like the other Saramonic mics, it's real, decent. It does have a little wind muff on it. Little foam wind muff. Also, the mic jack is screwed in place, so you don't run the risk of accidentally pulling the mic out of the body pack, which is pretty cool. Nice little clip, which is adjustable. You can pop this off and kind of flip it around any which way you want. Pretty hefty spring. This is our other cable. This is what's going to connect to the receiver and to the camera. Also screws in place, which is really nice. So here's the receiver here. What you would do is you plug that into the output. Kind of screw that down just like that. This way it's not going to pull out on you, which is super important. And then that plugs right into your camera. Last but not least, it also comes with an XLR adapter, which is really cool. Also, screws in place and a nice little XLR adapter. So if you want to plug in an XLR to this, you can. And I think that's all of it. Yeah, there's nothing else in the box here. All right, so on the actual, this is the transmitter right here. What you want to do is you want to get your spring clips and you want to put them in, there's a little side hole right here. So you want to just pop that in there just like that. Kind of push it in with your thumb and then just kind of work this one around to the other side. Might scratch the metal a little bit. Yeah, not a big deal. All right. And then you're good to go there. There's your clip, and that's what's going to hold this onto your body. Kind of just secure that in there just like that. The other one goes in like this. It goes in upside down, so you basically just go, you hook it in just like that, and then this one kind of goes around to this side, hooks in there. Kind of work this thing in side to side until it's all the way in on both sides. And this little guy slides up under. Easier said than done. Just like that. And that's what holds that in place. So that's how it's going to mount to your camera base or to your cold shoe. It is not a hot shoe, it is a cold shoe, but it does have a nice little 1/4 inch adapter here. And that's what's going to hold everything nice and securely. This thing is solid too, it feels good. It's not going to move around or wiggle. Alright, so something I noticed that on this one right here on the side of the on the actual receiver, the little clip kind of hits the battery compartment, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't block it per se because I can access it, but it's just something that kind of rubs, and I can't get this little guy in anymore. I've already tried, so the only thing I haven't tried is maybe putting some pliers on it, kind of wiggling it in there a little bit more, which I'm going to go do right now. All right, so I was able to get the piece all the way in, but the battery compartment still kind of rubs. See, it kind of catches on it, but not a big deal. I can still get it out. These do take 2 AA batteries, so I just have some rechargeables I'm going to put in right here. I do like the idea that you can use rechargeable AA batteries. That's kind of cool. They're a dime a dozen, and they're really easy to use. Okay, so I just put batteries in both of them, and I'm going to turn them both on. You basically just push it for like a second or two, and then they both power on. So something to consider too, that if you have this thing plugged in and you disconnect the batteries or the microphone, it goes into like it doesn't know, it loses its sync. So I have the microphone right here on this one, and you can see that my it's picking up my voice. If you look at the bottom left of the screen, right there, hello, hello. So that's kind of cool. And if you look on the actual thing here, you have signal strength. You also have your battery power. And you could change this. You can go to backlight mode, display 10 seconds. You can set that. Push and hold it. You can go to 30 seconds, 60 seconds, on, off. I'm going to leave it on 30 seconds, just like that. And we'll set that. Group B settings. I want to do that. Auto scan. Volume. So we're going to mess around with the volume settings, and we're going to get this thing all figured out. And then we'll get it outside, and I'm going to walk around and show you how far away from the camera that I can get. So this one, I'm going to set the display on this one for 30 seconds as well. Mute key settings enable. RF power settings high. And that's that. Okay, it also has these little screen protectors on there, which I like. So I'm going to leave those on just for now. Alright, so I have it hooked up to the camera now, and I still have it pretty far away from my head. Hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, I also had the volume turned up really high. It was on 27. I just turned it down to 20, so I want to see how that sounds. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. I have the volume turned up to 20, and I have the mic about a foot away from my face. So hopefully that sounds pretty good. Okay, so I just turned the mic up to a volume of 17, and hopefully that sounds a little bit louder. I think 20 and up is a little too high, but we'll check this out and see how it works. Okay, so I just turned the volume up to 20, and now the the mic is still about a foot away from my voice, from my mouth, so hopefully you can hear me pretty clear, and yeah, we'll try that. I'm actually going to just clip this to my lapel on my shirt and see how it sounds this way. Alright, so I have it clipped to my shirt once again, and I have the volume turned up to 23, and hopefully you can hear me just fine. And we're going to do a couple more tests like this, and then we're going to go outside and see how far this bad boy can reach. Alright, so I disconnected it. I'm back to using just my condenser mic, also from Saramonic. So there's several different settings. You can actually do this as a dual output. So this thing can monitor 2 different channels at once, which is really cool. You have Group A and Group B. I don't know if you can see that. You have Group A and Group B. And then if you go through the menu here, it shows you the serial number, which is great. The version, restore defaults, backlight mode you can set, Group B settings, which we're not using. So you can use this as a handheld also. If you have the handheld mic, you can do auto scan, volume. Group B settings right now is powered off, so we're not using it. And then you can do match with transmitter, auto scan. You set the volume. So over here, if I go into the settings, I can change the megahertz. So I can go into channel 1, 2, and it goes all the way up to channel 96. So that's pretty cool. Keep it on channel 1. I can do output mode stereo, or I could change that to mono if I want. So I'll change it back to mono. So when mono is selected, basically it's going to take the left and right channel and mix them together, which is pretty cool. When it's set to stereo, the left and right audio channel output will be separated. So I'm going to keep it on mono for now. And power key is unlocked. And there's your Group A, Group B, channel 1, channel 1. So that's all good there. I like how solid this thing feels. This thing is all solid metal. Really tough. And it just looks cool too. You know, it's a solid piece of audio equipment. So it looks like it's a nice little step up from my current model. This is the model I have been using, the Saramonic. This is the SR-UwM9. And it served me well for a pretty good amount of time, you know. Very similar, but plastic and a lot less expensive too. This is only about $100. This thing is about just a little under $300. So while you're using the actual transmitter here, if you hit the power button, it's going to mute. You can see the line goes right through that. And you can also see that the red light starts to flash too. That means it doesn't have an audio signal right now. So hit it again, and then your audio is back. So you can actually mute this, which is really cool. On the actual receiver, you have your phone jack right here. So you can plug in your headphones and have real-time audio monitoring, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this bad boy outside. I want to see how far away I can walk from the camera while still recording audio. Alright guys, so hopefully you can hear me, but I'm across the street. I have the Saramonic wireless mic system, and I have it on the, I just have the body pack unit right here in my back pocket. Alright guys, so I'm across the street from my house, and I have the Saramonic wireless mic system right here. I just have it on a, I'm recording this part of the audio on just a regular condenser microphone that I have. I have the transmitter right here, receiver on my camera mount, but I'm going to switch microphones, and then we're going to test and see how far I can walk away from the camera, and see how clear it gets. Alright, so now I have the UwMIC9 wireless mic system set up from Saramonic. I have it on my my lapel right here, right on my vest. I also have the transmitter right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start walking away from the camera, and I want to see how far I can go. There's a youth football field right behind me. So I'm going to start walking away, and hopefully you can still hear me. All right, well, I'm walking into the wind, so I'm going to walk backwards. Super windy here on the central coast of California. It's early in the morning. It's about 8:30. I'm just going to keep walking how far away.
get 40 now, and I'm not yelling, I'm not screaming, I'm normal, and watch where I'm walking, because I'm walking into like big old mud piles because the gophers on the Central Coast are gnarly. I'll walk out here to this pole. It's like a big old light post. And hopefully warmed up about that. But all as somebody like, shooting gear reviews attached to a camera with a cable. So having a wireless mic system is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. Okay guys, so I have the UwMIC9 wireless mic setup from Saramonic, and I have it right here on my hip. You can kind of see that right there. I tried it in my pocket, and I think just because it was so deep down in my pocket that it just wasn't getting a good signal to the receiver, so the audio started cutting off. So I put it on my hip now and have the antenna exposed. So I'm gonna walk again that way, away from the camera, and we'll see how far away I can get. And hopefully the audio still sounds good and doesn't cut out. So here we go, I'm gonna start walking. So it's a super windy day here on the Central Coast, and this field is it's a youth football field, and it's also a softball field too. So a lot of evenings there's a bunch of softball games going on, but for right now there's no one here. So this is a good opportunity for me to test out this mic system and see how well it works. I'm about, I don't know, 20-30 yards away from the camera right now, at least. I'd say more like 30, and hopefully you can still hear me. I know you can probably still see me. So I have the receiver, or the transmitter rather, on my hip. Now it's exposed. It's not actually in my pocket like it was before. So I'm gonna walk a little further. I can't hear my own audio right now just because I'm by myself and I don't have anybody at the camera monitoring my audio. I'm gonna walk probably close to this pole as I can, and hopefully you can still hear me. We'll check it out in post and see how it sounds, but get mud. But here I am, I'm at this pole now, and hopefully the audio is better this time than I did the first go. I'm walking back up to the camera. This is the third time I've tried to shoot this video, because the first two times I tried to shoot it was just too darn windy and my tripod kept blowing over, even with the weight. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully you can still hear me, but here I am walking back to the camera, and I think the audio hopefully will sound better this time. All right guys, so as you can tell, the further away I went, obviously the audio started cutting off. It started cutting off about 80 yards, and then you couldn't really hear anything. It was really sporadic, and then it just cut off completely. So I think within 80 yards, as long as it has a direct line of sight to the receiver, to the camera, it should be fine. Audio does sound pretty good. A little bit closer, further away, it starts to cut off. So aside from that, pretty decent mic system. You know, I mean, it's just under 300 bucks, and it works pretty well for what it is. I have tested other mic systems that work a little bit better, further distance, and the audio quality is a little bit better, but the Saramonic system is a lot less money. So if you're a vlogger and you want to get crystal clear audio, you know, spend the money on like a high-end system, of course, if you have the budget. If you don't have the budget, this is a great option. You know what I mean? This is just under 300 bucks. It gives you a really long range, as you can tell from the video. away from the camera so you're not tethered by a wire, and you can do your thing and not be connected to your camera. But the audio quality seems like it's really good. It's not the best, but this is an entry-level wireless mic setup. So aside from that, I think it's a plus. I think this is a good review, and I really like the Saramonic mics. They seem like they work really well for me and what I need them for. All right, guys, so that's my review of the UwMIC9 mic setup from Saramonic. Now, as I said, this is a complete wireless mic setup. It has the body pack unit and the receiver with dual antennas. The connections all screw into the base units, so you're not going to unplug the mic or the auxiliary cable to the camera. So that's really cool. I like that kind of a security on a mic setup. As I said, this is not outdoor gear related, but I shoot a lot of video outdoors, and this is the normal setup that I would use. If you guys have any questions or comments about this setup, I would really love to hear what you guys have to say. Make sure you leave those down in my comment section down below, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Also, too, please like, share, and subscribe. It really means a lot when people subscribe to my channel and like what I have to say about the gear that I'm testing. So thanks again for tuning into my latest video. Really appreciate it. Please keep checking back for more gear reviews, outdoor related hodgepodge, gear talk, and giveaways. Take care, guys. Get outdoors.